Well, hello everyone and welcome back to Electro Hoard. So today I want to give you a quick tour of my vintage test equipment workshop, and I do plan on showing a lot of other stuff in detail. If you follow the channel, you notice that I have a bunch of different kinds of electronics and mechanical equipment, and I do plan on showing you guys everything on several videos that I plan to make in the following weeks. But today I want to start doing some freehand shooting so I can go on each and every single test equipment that I have here, just to give you a quick tour. And on my next videos that I'll release on this channel, I'll go into further detail, okay? So this is a vintage computer, nothing fancy. It's a 486 that I used to make floppies for other computers. It runs on a compact flash card. So this one's got MS-DOS 6.22 on it. And this computer also has the CH375 USB card. If you don't know about this ISA card, do some research on Google. It's very useful for vintage computers. I do have one installed in here, okay? So, well, let me start by giving you a full overview of the room, right? So this is a quick overview of the room. So I have a lot of stuff piled up in this room, and I also have more stuff here and here. So this is the computer that I use mostly to make floppies for other vintage computers. And now I'll try to do an overview on all of the test equipment that I have here. So let's start here with the Tektronix 577. This is a curve tracer. It's very useful for testing semiconductors, MOSFETs, transistors, diodes, Zehners, and everything. Down here we have telequipment portable scope. Here I have an HP 3580A spectrum analyzer. This is great for audio stuff. I believe it goes up to 100 kilohertz, if I'm not mistaken, or thereabouts. This is a General Electric power meter. Down here we have a high voltage power supply that goes up to 500 volts and 25 milliamps. Okay. On this side we have hidden here a Philips GM 6001 vacuum tube meter. It's got the original probes here, right? Now, on this side I have this ThinkPad X220 that I mostly use to read schematics and anything I need when I'm trying to fix something or repair something. Here I have two more power supplies. This is 100 volts. This is low voltage, so it only goes up to 100 volts and 1 amp. And this one down here goes up to 150 volts. So on this side, I have, well, up here I have a cleaning floppy along with some regular 2HD floppies. This is a Heathkit oscilloscope calibrator, so it generates a time base and a voltage, so you can use it to calibrate an analog scope. Down here we have the HP 6632B, which is a system DC power supply. Right below we have the HP 8903B audio analyzer. You notice that I have a bunch of this around the lab, right? So I have another one here, I have another one here, I have another one right here. Some are the A version and some are the B version. They're basically the same. The B has differential inputs, I believe, whereas the A doesn't have it. And I like very much, this is one of the HP's test equipment that I most love because they are very, very useful. They can generate a very low distortion, sine wave, and they can do all kinds of measurements, including distortion. So I'm really into vintage audio, so this is very useful for me to test vintage equipment. And right below, this one is off. I'll turn it on now because it's very noisy, because it's got a very big fan. And this is a digital transmission analyzer. It works. I haven't used it much, to be honest, but it works just fine, and it passes all self-tests. It's kind of noisy, as you can see, so I just left it off. I don't have yet a good microphone for the videos, so I prefer to just keep the background noises as low as possible. You probably heard some dogs barking. They're not mine. I love dogs, but they're not mine. They're from a neighbor. And well, now on this side, let's start up there, okay? So this is an HP VTVM. It's the HP 410 VTVM. It's a very famous one. This is the 410B. This is a Hewlett-Packard 202A low frequency function generator. This is all tube. This is all tube equipment. I'm pretty much into tubes. Here we have a Philips analog scope, along with a couple Cisco routers. This is a resistor decade. This is a Hewlett-Packard quartz oscillator. This is a test oscillator from HP, the 651B. I have here a frequency counter from Agilent. This is a trio analog scope. Here I have a pair of Tektronix analog scopes. These are the 2235. Above it we have the audio signal generator from Tektronix, and it's an ASG100. Here I have a signature analyzer, a vintage electromechanical timer from the 30s. Here we have another signature analyzer. This is a cable analyzer from Tektronix. This is an analog voltmeter from Yokogawa. So down here, let's see what we got here. Now we're moving to this shelf, right? So this is an electronic timer. It's got some Nixie tubes. Let me just close the window here so you can see a little better the Nixie tubes, right? So it will start counting. I can stop it, I can reset it. Right below we have a power supply. This is a Tektronix 500 megahertz scope. This is a vintage HP distortion analyzer. It's the 334A distortion analyzer. Here we have a bunch of other distortion analyzers. These are from Meguro. This one too. These are very, very cheap. To be honest, let me just open the window again. These are kind of cheap. You can get this pretty cheap and they work pretty well. The Hewlett-Packard ones usually are much more expensive, even though I like them better, to be honest. This is another VTVM, another all-tube vacuum tube voltmeter. This is a Philips FM stereo generator. This is the PM6456. Above it I have a temperature sensor. This is in Celsius. And also a humidity sensor. It's 47% right now, the relative humidity here. Here we have another power supply. This one's capable of up to 30 volts. It's a dual power supply, so we have two outputs up to 30 volts and 1.5 amps. Moving along, here we have the Hewlett-Packard high resistance meter. It's a 4329A. Here we have a Bunton RF voltmeter. This is another voltmeter from Hewlett-Packard. This is the 427A. I had to do a restoration on the meter because it was all flaking off, which is a common problem on vintage HP voltmeters from this series. Here we have an attenuator from HP. Here we have another voltmeter. This one is only AC. Right below them we have a capacitor analyzer from Tonghui. This is the TH2685. that can measure both leakage current and voltage from capacitor. It also has this fail and pass tests, but it only goes up to 200 volts. So this is not very useful for tube stuff, because usually tube stuff capacitors goes up to 500 or 450 volts. Moving along, here we have an HP AC amplifier. It can do 20 or 40 dB gain. This is a vintage capacitor checker from Heathkit. This is the IT28. It's a very well-known model. It has the magic eye tube, which indicates if a capacitor is leaking or not. It's a very interesting little device. By the side, we have the Heathkit RF signal generator. I don't use this one much because I have a much better signal generator from HP, which I'll show you in a few. It's right below there. So I don't use it much, but I like the way it looks. I like the vintage appearance, so I like to keep it. And right by the side of it, we have another condenser checker. This one is the Heathkit. I forgot the model number. Believe it or not, I can't see where's the model number on this one. Anyway, it's another Heathkit condenser checker, just like this one. It's a different model, obviously, but it does the same thing. It also has the magic eye tube. And this is a very interesting piece. It's a power supply, but it's a all tube power supply. It goes up to 250 volts and 150 milliamps. It uses EL34s on the output as regulator tubes. Right below, we have the Agilent data acquisition unit, the 34978. I have used this in the past to monitor current on audio output tubes while they were doing some burn-in. It is a useful test equipment to have. Right beside, we have an HP 62948 power supply. Goes up to 70 volts and 1.2 amps. This one is very useful. This is a tiny high voltage power supply from Kepco. It goes up to 500 volts and 75 milliamps. By the side, we have a wow and flutter meter from Philips. This is useful for testing audio equipment like reel-to-reel recorders and tape decks. And here we have a Heathkit regulated power supply that goes up to 400 volts. By the side of it, we have another regulated power supply. This one is made by Tektronix. Right above it, we have a Heathcock solid state multimeter model 5700. If we take a look here, we have a Heathkit harmonic distortion analyzer. This is the IM5258, and below it we have another HP audio analyzer. I told you I love this HP, so I have several of them. This one is the A version. So now, moving along. Here I have just a breakout box. This is basically just a dummy load with 8 ohms on each side, and this is directly connected to the H903 below, so I can do some measurements on output power and also distortion from amplifiers. I can switch between the left and the right channels here, and it's directly connected to the HP right below, the HP A903B. Right below we have a spectrum analyzer, an HP 3582 spectrum analyzer. This spectrum analyzer used together with the HP A903 is very useful for doing audio stuff. It doesn't have a huge dynamic range, but if we use together with the HP A903, using the monitor out of the HP 903, it's just a perfect match. Okay, so we can do a lot of different FFTs and spectrum analysis from an amplifier and audio stuff. Well, right below we have a Tektronix analog scope, and below we have another HP A903B. Yeah, I know. That's why the channel is called Electro Hoard, because I'm hoarding stuff. So yeah, I'm hoarding a lot of HP A903s, I know that. And right below it, I have the HP 8656B, which is an RF signal generator. This is the one I mostly use. I was talking about this Heathkit RF signal generator. I don't use it much, exactly because I have this HP, which is much more useful and much more convenient to use. So I mostly use this one, to be honest. And let me turn this off. So now, hope you guys are still with me. I know it's a lot of stuff. I just want to do a quick overview of everything. And I do plan on showing other stuff, and I do plan on going into further detail on each and every single equipment if you guys enjoy this video, because I do have a lot of stuff to show. So here's just a Variac with voltage and current meters. Here I have another IBM ThinkPad. This is the model number R51. It's a pretty old ThinkPad, but I use it because it runs Windows XP, so it can interface very easily with vintage equipment. Right below it I have another HP power supply. This is the 66332A, and right here I have another power supply, and here I have a vacuum tube curve tracer. This was built by me. I built this one, and it connects via USB to this computer, so I can do some curve tracing on tubes. I can even open one up here so you guys can see. There's a curve that I did for a Telefunken diamond button tube. It was done on April last year, so this is very useful. And above it I have a B&K electronic load on audio control industrial RTA analyzer. It's connected to a microphone, so you can do some audio analysis. As you can see, I just turned it on and it's working. Wow, you can even see me there. Hi, hey. Oh, here we have another power supply from Lebo. Lebo is just a national brand here. And on the side of it, I have the very, very common HP 3478A multimeter. This is a very good multimeter that you can still get on eBay for pretty cheap. I mean, considering the prices multimeters are going for now, especially here in my country, this one is considered cheap and it works pretty well. Okay, so guys, I guess this is it. I'll just give you a quick overview of the whole workshop again. So there's a lot of stuff here, as you can see, a lot of vintage test equipment, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Oh, I forgot one. This is just another power supply. It's a 4-channel power supply that is capable of doing high amps. I don't remember, but I believe it's 10 amps at 20 volts on each channel, so it's pretty useful. And sorry for doing the video freehand, so sorry for the shaking. I didn't want to use a tripod for doing this video because I wouldn't be able to show each and every single equipment, test equipment that I have here like I did. And I hope you guys enjoyed, and I do plan on showing more interesting stuff on my next videos, so please stay tuned. And if you have any comments, please leave your comments down below. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe to the channel because I have a lot of interesting stuff to show you guys. Thank you very much. I did all this video in a single shot, in a single take, so I hope it ended up working fine. If you guys liked it, let me know. If you guys didn't like it, let me know in the comments, and I'll try to improve my next videos, okay? Thank you very much, and bye bye. See you next time.